Hello, Math 2. So we're going to start Unit 8, Lesson 6. It's about secants, tangents, and angle measures. Hopefully you can see this thing. We are going to continue. You may not know how to do the problems now, but make sure that you have your colored gel pens that I gave you during class, any highlighters. Make sure to color and draw the pictures in your notebooks and your binders. These will be very helpful as you're doing your lessons. We already know what these look like, by the way. These are going to make our scoops and our cones. Again, there was a reason why I had you draw this on day 1 of the unit if you were there. Some came late, some did it the next day. Some of you never did this because you didn't show up those first 2 days, but you now know what I'm talking about with scoops and cones. So let's take a look at what these problems look like. So we're on page 760. We're going to do 1A. We have our circle. So here we have a secant. It's a secant because it goes through the circle twice. Let's label all the parts where it intersects. So right now, my red marker would be like you writing in pencil. Don't use anything in color, not yet. Okay? And again, I don't give you the formal, technical calculations that are in the book. We know how to do them though. So grab one of your colors. Notice that this 47 degrees, that's a scoop up there, right? We also have this 116 degree scoop. Pretend you're little. You got a little ice cream. Your mom or dad got a big ice cream. You were in charge of holding it. Well, mom or dad went to the restroom. You're obviously going to take a look at it, of the ice cream. You're holding it in a weird way, like this. Okay? And we know that this big old scoop down here, the 116, matches up to this X right here. The 47 matches up to this angle in the middle. But pretty sure some of you are already spotting something and know what I'm going to do with my hands. With the VA, this angle on the top and this angle on the bottom right there. This angle is the same as this angle. They're both X. We're going to call this our combo cone. This green represents a flavor that you actually like. Some of you in class said that you like mint chip. Some of us don't like that, prefer pistachio or lemon sherbet. But whatever it may be, if you don't like a green ice cream, use your imagination. Use whatever color that you happen to like. We like this flavor, and we also like that flavor. So we're going to add those together. 116 plus 47. That's when we have our scoop, when we need to bring it back to the edge. Notice it's not in the center, but it's also not on the edge. It's not inscribed, it's not central, it doesn't really have a name. Just somewhere floating in the middle. So, but either way, we divide it by 2. That's going to equal our X. I'm going to grab a calculator because I don't have you to assist me with the calculations like always. I don't have Erica or any of the Terrells or Jamel to do my calculations. So if you put all of this into the calculator, and if you're doing it all in one shot, make sure that you put parentheses around the top. If not, you're going to get the wrong answer. So X is going to equal 81.5. That's the measure of that angle. So now let's switch over to this other board. Again, it's going to be a problem where we're going to have a combo cone. So problem 1B, same page. Draw your circle. And Erica's going to ask me how big should the circle be. About 5 or 6 lines. So you have enough room for all these secants and tangents to go all over the place. Again, you're writing in pencil. Notice this time the secant goes all the way through. It's not just a line segment. It doesn't really matter. Either way, we're going to get some cones and some scoops. Over here, there's going to be a 55 degree scoop. To the right, a 75 degree scoop. M is where it crosses right there. N is where it crosses on the right side. We have an angle up here, which we're going to label X. The degree signs are optional. And then we have P down here. Like always, we're gonna grab our colors, grab some that may represent something of flavors that you happen to like. I'm gonna stick with the green. You guys know I like green. Flavor I like, that's a positive. Other flavor you like, positive. They make this combined cone thing. Notice that the face sort of looks like Spider-Man to me, the big old bug eyes right there. These angles will be the same right there. But notice that doesn't happen to be the angle that we actually want. But notice that all of them, including the X and the bottom piece, are going to make a circle. So off to the side, I'm going to put a 360. Later you can tell me in the comments if you can actually see the orange color. If not, I won't use it for future videos, okay? Right now I can, on the computer it's visible. I don't know about your devices. So first let's do a little combo cone thing. Well, I know that I can combine 55 plus 75. I'm going to do it all in the calculator, which I'm going to attempt to do. I'm going to split it in half. Since I have an X right there for the vertical, let's call the left and right Y. Let me grab that calculator. And we're going to go 55 plus 75. Let's divide it all by 2. I said this was Y. So Y equals 65. So now I know this side is 65, this side is 65. What should I label this one as? Should be an X, right? So let's label this one as X. You can either make your equation, you can add them up before. You probably know that I'm just going to write it as minus 65, 360, minus 65. Minus 65 will be 230. But I have two X's. That would mean that 2x is equal to 230 divided by 2. In this region over here, decide upon what method do you want to do. You want to do a straight equation from the beginning, that's fine. You want to mix and match. If you just want to show me the dividing by 2, I'm pretty sure my original Isaiah is going to do that. And Levi as well is not going to put the equation, but he's going to get his answer by showing all his work. Either way, if we divide by 2, we get 115 on this orange angle up here. Just to show that, circle it in orange. Got our 115. Again, the thing we're doing, these are our combo cones. You're going to have some kind of X thing. The two angles are going to be lining up in the middle. Scoop on one edge, scoop on the bottom part. Okay. Now let's skip to example 2's. Same kind of idea. We're going to see scoops and cones, just in a different format. So problem 2a. Our circle, a secant coming out of it. It's a secant because it touches the circle right there. And now remember, the circle is the rim. It's not the space in between the circle. Here's K. Somewhere out here is L. And then in this direction, we have something that's touching just once. Remember, our title was secant for this line. This is our tangent line. Again, this is a secant, this is a tangent. Using our abbreviations from before from trig stuff. Just checking the camera, make sure it's flipped the right way. It is. And down here, we made a 116-degree angle. What we want to find the measure of JLK. Again, this M is, in my opinion, optional. Your book seems to be using it in this section. Other books don't use it in that section. Since we have this 116 right here, see, it's an angle. An angle is a cone. Let's draw it in. Just like when we have those worksheets. I'm going to use another color because you can't tell the difference between that orange and that red on the screen here in blue. So pick a color to contrast. Here's my big old cone. Well, let's fill it up. Evidently my scoop didn't fill it up all the way. You actually like ice cream when they're serving your scoop. Usually you want your container, whether it's a cup or a cone, to be filled in all the way. So you have this big old cone. But remember, our cones are always usually skinnier than our scoops. We have it off this way to the edge. We're gonna bring it out to the front. And how do I bring it out to the front? We've been using division on the other problems. Now we're going to multiply by 2. So just do your 116 times 2. That's gonna be 12, carry the 1, 2, 3, 232. So now we know that the measure of angle, and I didn't, just evidently down here, is RJ. If we go and start here and go all the way around, would be 232. Remember that this little hat right here, scoops, are called arcs. So this is an arc. This is bigger than 180. So this is a major arc. That's the reason why they put this random dot right here, the L. Because it may have seemed to somebody, why is that L there? It's not doing anything. Well, now you know that it's there because it shows you it's a major arc. That's why we have 3 letters. That was our hint. If there was 3 letters and you got something smaller than 180, this wouldn't have been the correct notation. Okay, so let's see another one where we're going to see this cone that's going to be all slanted off to the side. And again, just like regular, I'm going to leave one of the boards there. I know you can rewind and watch this again. You can tell me if the audio is okay, the lighting. Probably should have turned up the lights, forgot we dimmed them earlier. Morning. Problem 2b. We need to find the measure of angle RQS if the measure of QTS, which is a major RQTS, is 238. Notice I like the numbers in the 230s. Picture again, circle, 5 to 6 lines, give you enough room to do stuff. Don't make them teeny tiny. You need to spread out what you're doing. Q, R, and S. Put your T down there. Get a contrasting color. I'll use the blue again. So we have, let's see, measure of QTS. Let's do that first. So QTS, and I know that's 238. Let me grab my green. Actually, let me grab the orange because the green is going to look probably similar on the video. So all over here, and I'll do squigglies. If the blue is 238, how do I figure out this orange right here? You guys know that the whole circle by now is 360. Do it by hand, or grab your trusty calculator. Make sure your calculator is not malfunctioning. So far these are okay. Again, make sure that you when you show up on Thursday or Friday, you ask myself or your independent study teachers for any calculators you may need to borrow. We have plenty. We'll just write down who has what so we remember when we get back to normal to bring back all our calculators so we can use them here at school. So I got 122. So I know 122 is this angle. And notice, where is its scoop? Well, it has this weird side scoop right here with the secant. Again, this is our secant side. This is our tangent. Secant because it touches in 2 spots. It's only touching right there as it goes off this way. Okay, but this big old scoop goes back to that angle. Again, you have your scoop like that, and you go back. Most of you know by now that that's division. You like this kind of calculation. About 60% of the test is going to be multiplying by 2, dividing by 2. You just need to know when to do which thing. Again, your cones and your scoops are going to be the key. And you color coding thing. You don't color code thing, I'm going to take off points even if it's digital. Start turning in the work that you've done. Load it up to the Google Classroom. So we got 122. We divide by 2. That would be 61. So the measure of angle RQS is equal to 61. While it popped into my head, there is a problem similar to this where it's more challenging. I'm going to make an additional video. Need to prep a couple examples. They show up both in the one on the homework assignment, one on the review, and there's one on the test. But I'll prep that in another video after we've done the basic ones. Now Notice how lesson 6, hopefully you're noticing that lesson 6 and lesson 4 are very similar. Just the cones off to the side, you're dividing by 2, you're multiplying by 2. On the first little section we did add some stuff. Well, now we're going to talk about the picture that we drew, the original one with the ice cream cone. If you have that in your binder, take it out. Remind yourself what flavor I told you to put on the top and what flavor was hidden along the bottom. Some of you drew 2 scoops, some of you drew 3 scoops. No matter what you drew, I told you to put something towards the top to color it in a certain way, and towards the bottom you had other things. Okay? One of the spots was for what you liked, the other one was for what you hated, what you didn't like. Why? This is the why. You have your circle, and then on this one it's going this way. Tangent right there, it slices the circle this way. So it's touching right here at R. Here is T. This arc down here is 71 degrees. This one is 179. 179, it's almost half the circle, but not quite. And here's U up here. So now let's color code things. I'm gonna look for my green. Okay, I like pistachio. I'm gonna put that up here. It's green and I like it. One thing I don't like on a store that some of you may not know, the last ones in the area closed several years ago. There used to be one down the street from the school where the Home Depot is at, Kmart. One time I tried a cotton candy one that was blue. It tasted very nasty and we threw it away in the parking lot. My dad never ever bought us ice cream from Kmart ever again because we wasted some money. So I don't like this one, at least not that cotton candy one. I love blue cotton candy, as I told Erica during class. So we're gonna end up doing 179 minus 71. I'm gonna cut the difference of those two in half because I want this angle way back here in the corner. Just so you can see that, I'll trace it over in red and I'll put some squiggly so it shows up on camera. Okay, so we want this squiggly angle way back here. Once I do this, I'm going to be able to get, this vertex I had S, this is S. Let me grab the calculator, and hopefully you put in those parentheses on the top, because if you don't put the parentheses or you hit enter after you do 179 minus 71, you're going to get the wrong answer. If you don't do those parentheses or hit equals, you're not going to get S is equal to 54. Let's just put the measure of angle S, just to be all proper so you're used to seeing it in all the different formats. So notice again, I like this flavor, that's a positive. I don't like that one, so I'm taking off what I don't like, cutting it in half and bringing it back to the angle. Let's do one more problem. And again, the other one I'll probably record tomorrow. Start texting me stuff on Remind. Again, the YouTube channel, our 916 Math. It's for you guys to get additional help. We can do some video chat. We'll decide upon what's the best one. We'll use Zoom or Hangouts for that kind of thing, or live stream maybe on one of those two, or Twitch. We'll see which thing works best. And I do want you to be interactive on the live stream. If possible, having your mics on so that you can answer stuff. If not, you typing into the chat and me with the best of my abilities, keeping up with what's going on in the chat, and also explaining stuff like normal class. So we want the measure of x of arc xz. Well, let's first label our stuff. So arc xz, where's that thing at? Oh, xz happens to represent that flavor I didn't like. So color this little arc with the ice cream flavor color that you do not like. The 224 is something you like a whole bunch. You have most of your circle of your ice cream cone filled in with it. And then color the rest of your cone. You can keep it in this color in my green. I'm just gonna change it up and put a red right here. And again, I will turn the lights up more. I forgot that they were dimmed. Hopefully this is visible and I don't have to record the whole thing again. So again, this is my positive. I like that green ice cream flavor. I don't like the blue one. Okay, for just ice cream reasons, not for other things. So I'm going to put 224 minus 68, all divided by 2 as I go. Oh, no, I messed up. Because I forgot to do something. Got too excited. This is why we use things that we can erase. And if I messed you up in color, sorry, you can write it over. We forgot to label this spot right here in the blue with something. This is going to be the most challenging it's going to get on the test, this kind of problem, where you're going to have to do an equation unless you're very prudent and you can deal through these challenging things. Put an X right here. We don't know what that is. And we're going to put a minus because it's something I don't know, but it's something I don't like. So I'm going to do 224 minus X. These two go back and they go back to that 68. I know I have to cut those things in half, and I know I get 68, okay? Various methods from right here. Just to remind you about one thing we've been working with last couple units, let's put things over 1. Cross multiply. If I do 2 times 68, that'd be 136. 1 times 224 is 224. 1 times negative X is negative X. And put your equal sign. I do minus 224 minus 224. I'm going to bring it back up here. So I have negative X equals, grab your calculator. I can tell I'm going to get a negative answer because the bottom is further away than the top. So I'm going to get negative 88. Most of you know by now, just switch the signs or put that negative 1 there, just so you can see it from a distance. Divide by negative 1, and then we get X equals 88. Just got a knock on the door. Teacher meeting time, so I'll load this later.